How's it guys, this is Davey FPL and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. This week we're going to have the Game Week 31 review along with the Double Gameweek 32 preview. It's what everyone's here for, and I'll be providing 2 Freehit drafts for you guys as well as a wildcard draft for those of you who asked. I know it's been quite a while since we've had some club football, but cannot forget about Game Week 31, so we're going to give it a little bit of a review quickly here on the channel. And then we're going to go to the Game Week 32 preview. So Game Week 31 saw us rise up in the ranks to 40th in the world due to a nice overall final points of 46 compared to the average points of 26. Obviously a massive jump up from I think about the 72nd mark in the world to 40th. So I was ecstatic when this happened, and I was glad to see that my team did well in the blank without a free hit. Kind of showed that all the planning was worth it. So let's go and see what happened with the players. So we had Fabianski with 1 point, obviously quite a disappointment, but Yedlin came in clutch with an assist at the death, and then Robertson got 2 points. Unexpected defensive mistake from Liverpool against Fulham, but whatever, you can't really do much about it. Bad for those who doubled up or even tripled up on the Liverpool defense, but it was just one of those game weeks. Then we have Digne with an unexpected 6 points. I'm quite happy that I ended up keeping him as he returned in this game. I did transfer out Richarlison though two game weeks ago, so I missed both of his goals. Then we have Mane with 13 points, obviously is on immense form right now and looked a very good captaincy option. I just kind of stuck with Salah because of the ownership, and to be honest, I never really thought about captaining Mane. He was always just one of those things where I owned him, so that was enough for me. Obviously Salah with 2 points was a lot less than Mane's 13, but wasn't too angry about that captaincy choice. Then we have Brooks with 2 points along with Hazard. A little bit disappointed with Hazard, but I ended up getting the Everton clean sheet from that Chelsea game, so I don't really know what I would have preferred. Then we have Arnautovic with 2 points, very disappointed with him. Everyone was kind of saying that if he did start, he was bound to get returns, but he did end up starting, but only got those 2 appearance points. Was very disappointed with him as he was kind of the differential I brought in for this blank game week, and I can definitely see me transferring him out before the Game Week 33 deadline. Then we have Rondon, who returned again for me with 8 points. Looks a good decision to go with him over Ashley Barnes from Burnley, so happy with that decision. Then we have Vardy with 2 points. Also a little bit disappointed with him. Leicester did come from behind and end up winning that game. Well, not from behind, but they did get a red card, so props to them for getting that result. Then obviously the bench just contained all of my players who did not play. So again, just to wrap up, we got 46 points, which saw us rank up to 40th in the world. Now I just want to go on to my game week team for this game week, as I just want to show that my Freehit is in fact active. A lot of people were just asking me if what I was planning to do this game week, so that's just confirmation that I will be using my Freehit this game week. I ended up choosing this over the wildcard strategy just because of all the planning that has taken place with the blanks and the doubles on my behalf. And I'm just gonna stick with the plan that I had. It's been working so far, so hopefully it can work in the future. So right now I'm going to be giving you 2 Freehit drafts, and then afterwards a wildcard draft, and I'm going to talk you through some of the players that I've chosen and everything. Obviously these players could differ from your players, and that's the nice thing about a Freehit, is it gives a lot of different combinations of certain players, and it's not really that template. Could be a couple choices like Sterling and Aguero that are template, but I don't think many people are going to be free hitting this game week, so you don't really have to worry about that many differentials. But as I say, every team is different, and if you think a certain player is better than one that I've chosen, I suggest going for it. So the first draft is kind of what I'm kind of going for. Probably it is a 4-3-3 formation. I just think that the midfield options are a little bit lacking in options from the teams that we're kind of looking at. For example, I think I would rather have a Man City defender than have per se Bernardo Silva or David Silva. Obviously they could return well, but I just think from my team point of view that I'd rather have that Man City defender. So the Man City defender I've opted for is Edison. Laporte is also a good option. I just have a couple worries about him coming back from injury, and now a lot of the Man City centre backs are returning from injury, so could see some rotation there. Obviously, Laporte had nailed that spot down in the centre back position for Man City, so maybe he will start both games, but I just think that Ederson is a little bit more nailed, and when I'm thinking about my Freehit team, I kind of want those nailed players, so opted for Ederson in that department. Backup keeper Speroni, just as a little bit of an enabler. He comes in as the cheapest goalkeeper, so going to go for him. Then we have Simpson, who's also an enabler, along with Stevens and Bukuna from Huddersfield. I've opted for Stevens as a little bit more expensive than Romeo from Southampton, as if a player is injured from my team around the deadline and I miss it, then I will have Stevens, who does have a double game week, to come off the bench. The rest of my defense is made up of David Luiz and Azpilicueta as my Chelsea double up. Azpilicueta is kind of the nailed option for me. David Luiz and Rudiger are kind of, it's shifting. I think it's kind of a toss-up who's going to be playing. Hopefully both of them do, but Chelsea have been shown to kind of rotate in that centre-back position, bringing on the likes of Christensen. So I've just gone for David Luiz as to me offers a little bit more goal threat, so he's slotted in as that second Chelsea defender for me. Then I have Ashley Young, just as a more of an attacking defender than the likes of Lindelof. I did have Lindelof in my initial draft, but due to me having some money left over, I upgraded him to Young, as I do like his stats in terms of assisting potential. So Young could become Lindelof by the deadline, but kind of I'm sticking Young as a kind of a template or a placeholder for my defense. Then we have Schlupp, mainly just because Wan-Bissaka seems to have picked up an injury while on international duty. So Schlupp has been playing out of position. The one thing on my last video that I said was he played left back. That was just because I looked at the last FA Cup game and Van Aanholt seemed to have a little bit of a knock, so Schlupp played in the left back position. So it looks like Van Aanholt has recovered from his injury, but if he has not, it looks like Schlupp will play the left back position. Not too upset about that. Obviously, it's just a bonus if he plays out of position, but Schlupp comes into my team as my fourth playing defender. Then obviously we have the likes of Sterling and Hazard and Pogba. They are pretty much the nailed options in my team. Can't see them going anywhere. Sterling looks a great captaincy option this game week along with Aguero, so they're not going to be going anywhere in my team. Obviously I've spoken about Stevens and Bacuna as they just kind of budget enablers. Then Aguero, probably going to be my captain for the double game week. He slots right into my team along with Lukaku and Batshuayi. I've opted for Batshuayi over, say, Millie from Crystal Palace. Not going to go for the pronunciation. They kind of butchered it, I think, in the last video. So I've just opted for Batshuayi, as I kind of don't want to rely on a midfielder for penalties. I know Crystal Palace do get an awful lot of them, but I think the attacking threat of being the centre forward for the team has kind of lent me to pick Batshuayi over him. And then my final option I've gone for is Lukaku. I've wanted to bring in Lukaku for this double game week, but the only thing that was kind of worrying me was the knock. News has come out today that all injured players for Man United, the main ones such as Martial and Rashford and Lukaku, should be fit for the Watford game. So if I had the option between Rashford and Lukaku, I would go for Lukaku, mainly just because Lukaku's in a little bit better form and he does play that centre forward position. Rashford is also a good option. I see Rashford in a lot of drafts due to him being at a cheaper price, so you could also go for him. I just prefer Lukaku as he's that main threat in that team when he plays, and as I said, he's on quite good form. So just to wrap up, this is a 4-4-3. I think you can kind of see which players I'm going to be playing, as the cheapies will be on the bench, just to pump the most money into my starting lineup. Just to give you an idea, I have 0.1 million left in the bank. Then my second draft is a 3-5-2 for those of you who kind of want to stack your midfields. I've gone for Kepa in this draft, as I also feel that he's also nailed in that team. I've dropped the Man City fourth defender due to us doubling up in that midfield. So Kepa comes in goal for this one, along with Schlupp, David Luiz and Lindelof. Gone for David Luiz over Azpilicueta just due to budget constraints. Sterling and Hazard and Pogba again, and then coming in is Deulofeu and David Silva. David Silva just because he's had the international break off and should be raring to go. I do think that City mid is a little bit stacked though, so it's a little bit risky to opt for a third attacker from Man City, but then again they should be scoring lots of goals, so it might be worth the risk. Then I've opted for Deulofeu as he does have that double as well. Worried about rotation with him, but I feel that he could even get some limited minutes in the second game. So I think you got to go for it in that 5 million mark, as there's no other players kind of for it. Then once again we have Aguero and Lukaku, and then we have Quaina on the bench. Just an interesting fact for you is if you want Colin Quaina, you can always go for him on the iOS app, but I do believe that he is on the PC version or the web version as well, so shouldn't be too much of a worry to get him in. But if you cannot see him on your transfers, maybe just try the Apple app. So that's basically going to wrap up the Freehit drafts. A lot of drafts are similar to this in terms of the Chelsea double up and then a Man United defender, but I think everyone's kind of going for that three Man City, 3 Chelsea and 3 United players, as they do have the best fixtures. Finally, we're going to just go over a wildcard draft here, as I was asked for it quite a bit. I've kind of put all my eggs in one basket with this one. This kind of goes if you do not have a Freehit for Game Week 33, and if you're looking to play your bench boost and potentially your triple captain. So obviously take this team as a little bit of a template and make modifications to it in terms of budget or chip strategy. For those of you who are free hitting in Game Week 33, you can kind of ease off on some of the bench players and bring in those players for those potential doubles in 35. So starting off, we have Boric in goal along with Ryan. Boric mainly because he plays in Game Week 33 and he's also very cheap. And then we have Ryan, who comes in due to the massive amount of doubles that Brighton are going to be playing. They'll be playing a double in 32 right now, and then 34 and then 35 as well. So that's basically quite a lot of fixtures, and Ryan is kind of nailed, so I would bring him in. Then we have Wan-Bissaka just because he's cheap, along with Daniels due to that fixture as well for Bournemouth. And then I've opted for David Luiz, Peltier and Kolasinac. Obvious submission from this team is a Liverpool defender. I just think that with the doubles coming up and Liverpool having to play Spurs and Chelsea, that they're not looking that favourable defensively. Their last couple fixtures are also very nice, but I've opted for more of the Chelsea and Arsenal defense due to their doubles coming up, and also they all play in the blank game week, so no disadvantage to having them in your team. Kolasinac just for that attacking threat in terms of the Arsenal defenders. Then I've gone for Sterling, Brooks, Hazard, Pogba and Mane. As you can see, I've left Salah out. I just think that if you're wildcarding in Game Week 34, you kind of don't have that advantage of seeing if Salah returns to form in the next 2. Talking about the Spurs fixture and then the Game Week 33 fixture against Southampton as well. So I think I've opted for the risk of not having Salah in this draft, mainly due to the ability to spread the funds elsewhere and taking advantage of the double game week players that are coming up. So Sterling is a definite option to bring in. I think that's a set starter for me if I was to wildcard, along with Brooks because he's cheap and he has that blank game week fixture. Hazard for the doubles, Pogba for the doubles, and Mane because he's just on red hot form. And you kind of want to cover Liverpool a little bit, and Mane is the perfect option for that. Then I've gone for Vardy, Aguero and Murray. Murray for the same reason that Brighton have great fixtures and doubles coming up. Aguero because he looks like he's going to be a massive scorer in the double this game week along with the future game weeks. And then Vardy just because he also has a fixture in game week 33 and is on form. In terms of budget, this team has 0 in the bank, so I know a lot of you guys might not be able to afford this team. So downgrades that I would look at making would be Vardy, due to him not having the double game week, and you could always bring in another player for him. And then also maybe David Luiz, you could downgrade a little bit. But all the other players look set for me and should be in your squads for the future. So yeah, that's basically going to wrap up the video, guys. One thing that I just want to note is that you must please watch the press conferences, or at least pay attention to Twitter over the next coming days, as the press conferences are going to give us all the information. I'm saying this because if Solskjaer comes out and says no, that Rashford and Lukaku are both fit, great, but if one of them is going to miss one of the games, then you want to know that, and that has the same effect for all the other managers, that hopefully they give us some tips on starters and injury news. So please pay attention to Twitter. While you on Twitter, you can follow me at DavyFPL. That'll be much appreciated. And otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like the video if you did enjoy it, and share it with your friends or anyone. And also subscribe if you haven't. Hopefully we can get that subscriber percentage up again. It seems to have dipped down a little bit. It was 25% last video, so hopefully we can get that up again. But otherwise, I'm going to be signing off. This has been DavyFPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.